Hi individuals, I'm Buddy Ray. Have you ever had a cold sore on or near your lips? How would you deal with this painful and annoying condition? Have you noticed that how many days it usually takes for them to disappear? I know that some young people mistake this for acne. There are also many people like my parents who think it's heatiness in your body. In China, during the Lunar New Year, if someone finds a cold sore on their lips, they or someone else will usually say, "You must have eaten something spicy or heaty in the past few days. You should eat more cold food." Cold sores and heatiness is a myth that I grew up with. It wasn't until I entered the university that I was asked to choose a random disease from a brief introduction in the first lesson of my academic English for science class, and I happened to choose herpes simplex, a term that I was not familiar with, that I learned about the causes of this common condition when searching for information. Today I'm also going to review the true nature of herpes simplex to more infected people by explaining the possible true connection between Chinese New Year and cold sores. Firstly, the Chinese word heatiness usually refers to foods or medications that irritate the body, whereas the real cause of cold sores is usually herpes simplex virus type 1, HSV1. It brings a burning pain with some blisters or sores. After the first infection, the virus remains in the body of the infected individual and cannot be completely cured or cleared, but simply lays dormant for most of the time. If infected ones fail to develop antibodies, they can get infected again and again throughout their lives, but usually no more than 3 times a year. In addition, herpes simplex is a disease that can be transmitted from person to person through non-sexual contact. If someone kisses an infected person or uses their personal belongings, there is a risk of transmission. This actually explains the fact that in China, a country which is not accustomed to individual serving, when family gathering is very frequent like during the New Year's days, if one of a family is infected, this could put others at risk, because people may not only not use serving chopsticks, but may also mix non-disposable tableware. Although it is true that irritating foods such as spicy ones are not the cause of the infection, this does not mean that food is not associated with cold sores, nor does it mean that an infected person can freely enjoy spicy food while having infected. Symptoms can occur when the diet does not support the immune system, or when the food consumed contains compounds that can trigger cold sores. Arginine, which is widely found in foods that are particularly high in protein, such as chicken breast, turkey breast, pork loin, and flaxseed, is not only popular with fitness enthusiasts, but is also essential for the replication and reproduction of the herpes simplex virus in the body. But, obviously, completely stopping foods containing arginine is not an option that the body will be delighted with. Briefly taking away arginine from the virus as it wakes up, such as cutting out white rice, whole grains, spinach, almonds, peanuts, chocolate and fried foods and the previously mentioned ones from the diet, can shorten the duration and severity of the outbreak. During the New Year, not only do people eat nuts with arginine, but packaged snacks are also always on the table. However, processed foods such as sugary breakfast cereals, frozen foods, canned foods, and pasta can also be associated with the occurrence and persistence of cold sores due to their suppressive effect on the immune system. With so many foods that are not recommended, at least during the infection period, what should we eat then? Considering that the occurrence of symptoms is associated with a weakened immune system, foods that boost the immune system are the first choice. The main recommendations are yogurt, cheese, fish, pulses, non-acidic fruit and vegetables that contain lysine, which blocks arginine. This means that fresh fruit or vegetable juices made from non-acidic ones are a healthier choice than sugary processed juice. Another important and apparent reminder is that any individual who has experienced an infection must know that when the sore comes into contact with spicy, acidic, or hot foods, the momentary irritation can be extremely painful for such a while. Therefore, by choosing low-temperature, mild-tasting foods with less salt and spices, one can prevent the sores from breaking out more severely and make oneself feel more comfortable. It is interesting to know that one with herpes simplex should indeed eat cool foods that are low in temperature and low in stimulation, although this may not actually have much to do with the nature of some herbs or foods to which the word refers in Chinese context. Having said all this about food and drink, there is another possible link between Chinese New Year and herpes simplex infection. This is the immune function decrease caused by staying up late. Except for the New Year's Eve tradition, it is inevitable that the reunited family and friends will play cards or mahjong, sing songs, or simply chatting about the past year with each other until very late. The immune system is bound to be affected when bedtime is delayed or even when people stay up all night. Moreover, other common factors that can affect the immune system, such as changing hormones, being stressful or tired, having other viral infections or skin damage, can also be the trigger of cold sores. Fortunately, despite the fact that there is no cure or vaccine available, the body's immune system and specific antibodies still have the ability to fight the virus. Cold sores usually self-heal within about 10 days. However, if one feels very uncomfortable, taking oral antiviral medication such as acyclovir or valacyclovir, or applying a cyclovir cream to the affected area, can shorten the duration of the symptoms. In summary, avoiding stimulant foods during infection, ensuring sleep and reducing exposure to stressful situations to allow the immune system to function properly, and using antiviral medication in exceptional circumstances, such as extreme discomfort, will be sufficient to deal with an occurrence of the cold sores. I would also like to add a private opinion that, in general, individuals need to be aware that they are constantly living with bacteria and viruses in their environment, both internally and externally.